Okay, coming off, good win on Saturday. I think I told everybody during the week this team was 11 points away from, being tied for the conference, lead. So you kind of saw that. I thought, besides the last minute and a half of the game, it was a great defensive struggle on both sides. I thought both defenses played really well. I thought our defense played well. I thought their defense played well. Everybody can say, hey, our offense wasn't clicking and wasn't doing this, wasn't doing that. Well, there was a reason for that. I thought they played, had a good plan coming in. They played good defense. They tackled really well, made it tough on us to run the football, and we didn't make enough plays through the air. So it's one of those things where, if you don't like defense, it was a pretty boring game up until the last, minute and a half of the game, and then it got really exciting. I'll say this about our guys. I think, we did what we had to do to win the game. You could never make it a 3-score game. They found a way to get a field goal in and make it a 1-score game. And you miss a tackle and they have a long run. And next thing you know, they're going for 2 to take the lead, type deal. So I think it kind of woke everybody up at that point. But we got to play better for sure. And things where in areas we played really well and areas we didn't play so well. So like I said, Coach Simpson had his bunch ready to play. They come out and play with a lot of energy, and just knew he'd have them ready to play, and it'd be kind of their Super Bowl, and it was. And like I said, I think the fans got their money's worth the last minute and a half of the game.
John, you mentioned after the game their defensive line did some things. How much of it was what they were doing tactically, and how much of it was his injuries up front for you?
Well, I think you go back and look at the tape, I think they played really well. And I hate to say too much before, I comment a lot. I think their moving up front hurt us a little bit. I think number 50 had a career day for him. He played a heck of a ball game, and he's a good football player, So I think they had some guys stepped up and played well. It's not necessarily our guys played really bad. It's their guys played really good too. And and you're dealing with a good football team. Like I said, you can't look at records, and it's hard to tell these guys that, but we try to live by that and prepare in the same way every week, and you do that. And I thought we had a good week of practice, and we're still dealing with some immaturity, we're still dealing with some focus issues and things like that I think that we can get better at, and we got to get better at down the line for sure.
He was back this week?
I think he'll be back this week, yeah. It was killing him being on the sidelines. He played a little bit early and didn't play after that, and, kind of wishes he is in the game. It kind of throws us out of sync a little bit, but I think Slocum played well too, at times. So we have built some depth through that from being banged up front. But like I said, it'll be good to have him back in the lineup this week.
Or maybe not to 100%. Are some of those guys playing?
I think some of the guys we're beat up a little bit. It's just next guy's got to go in and play, and some of our guys have done a really good job of that. And I think it wears on you a little bit special teams wise too when you got guys that are banged up. But we do have got a lot of guys that's not playing at 100%. And hopefully that we can get healthy. I think we're getting closer. This is the smallest injury report after a game, and that's kind of surprising with it being a defensive struggle. We wasn't as banged up coming out of this as we have, the last couple of weeks, which I think a lot of that's fortune, and it's where how games go and things like that. But I think we come out of this one pretty healthy, which helps you get well the next week and get closer back to 100%.
Coach Cross, Trae has been targeted more in the passing game the past 3 games. Was that intentional, or does it just kind of work out that way?
Well, sometimes coverage dictates, where you go with the ball. And definitely, after the year he had last year and the year he had early, people, they know where he's at in coverage on the field, and they're more apt to, make sure that they got a guy on him. He don't get the opportunity to catch wide open balls as much as he did last year. They're going to be contested throws and catches, and like I said, it's people are paying more attention to him in their defensive coverages, which takes the quarterback's eyes in coverage to another spot. So it's we're going to design every week to try to come up with some throws to get the ball to our tight ends for sure. They're both really good receivers, and Trae does a really good job of running routes and catching the football, and so you're going to design things that's going to go that way. It don't always work out that way after the ball snap. About the way the coverage players. But I think a lot of our play action kind of helps us in some of that stuff as well.
Trae, could you give some of your thoughts on that? I noticed you shaking your head in agreement on Coach Gross's last comment there.
Yes, sir. I know last year it was more like an ultimate surprise because I was pretty open on a lot of those plays, and but this year, yeah, they're. I feel the scheme is awesome. Just the coverages I have seen where they're definitely putting more people like over me, and it's up to Coop making the right reads. Coop and Zion, they've done a fantastic job targeting me.
Quan, have you ever had to cover him in practice?
Yeah, I do. All the time, that's a challenge. It's a big dude.
What makes him as good a pass catcher as he is?
Because, he long, he have long arms, but he's also tall and he can run. That's what makes him real good. He's getting physical, he's getting bigger, and he's going to be a dog.
Can you outrun him?
He probably got me if he ran like 100 yards.
He couldn't outrun you for 8 yards Saturday, could he?
Nah, I'm going to use technique on him.
Yeah. When he caught that ball, you'd have out-sprinted the end zone.
Oh, yes, sir.
Interception, wouldn't he?
There wasn't anybody in front of you, was there?
Nah, if it was, I was going to still get there.
I guess that's a highlight reel play for you.
Yes, sir. Shout out to the D-line because, that pressure. Forced a bad throw. I was there for the catch, so.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about TSU?
Yes, I was going to say that. Moving forward to this week, you get that one past you on Saturday, and you go into another football game where another well-coached team, very very talented team, been in some really close games as well, and could be sitting at the top of the conference as well. And won a few more games, but like I said, just a really good football team, and we got to go play on the road, and we kind of control our own destiny. You got to get some must-win game. You got to go win the game and find a way to do that. But it's going to be a tough task because they're going to be ready to play. And I think their deal has been kind of like ours. The games they've gotten beat in, they've turned the ball over. They've had turnover problems. And when they play clean, they're them Vandy 31-27 or 31-28. So when they play clean, don't have a lot of turnovers. They're very explosive offensively. Got a quarterback that can distribute the ball. Got three really dynamic receivers. Running backs are doing a good job. And as always, offensively, they're always really good up front, offensive line-wise. So our defense got their work cut out for us. They've been scoring a lot of points, and so we got to get some stops and create some turnovers, hopefully. And then, offensively, hopefully we'll just maintain the ball and put points on the board when we get in the red zone and keep our offense on the field. But it's kind of tough. They're schematically, they're really good defensively. Don't move around quite as much, but they don't have to. They got really good football players.
Offensively, the philosophy is a little bit different than what it's been.
It is. They're throwing the ball a lot more than what they have in the past. And they started doing that the last couple of years, but, this year they've kind of sold out to it. But they still run the ball, too. They get you spread out. They run it really well. They ran it for 245, 250 against SEMO, so they move the football. They just turn the ball over in that game. That game would have been a lot tighter. And it was a tight game, but, you're sitting there and, it was, they drive the football down. It's 24-14, I think, at half, and they've gotten a field goal blocked and hadn't scored a couple times red zone, turn the ball over. They come out first drive, third quarter, take the ball down. They get the ball inside the 10. They throw a interception, and SEMO runs it back out to the 50. So it could have been 24-21 then. So it's going to be a really good football game for sure.
You mentioned there were some things Saturday y'all could have done better. What do you feel like some key improvements you guys need to make heading into this TSU game?
Well, I think we got to throw and catch it a little bit better. I think it was a little off passing game wise, and that had to do a little bit with their coverage. They covered us up pretty good, but we definitely got to play better up front, and in pass protection and run blocking. And I thought, we just got whipped to the point of attack some, Saturday, which we try to, just control the line of scrimmage, and we wasn't able to do that enough on Saturday for sure. We're in way too many third and longs. You look at it, we wasn't, really good on third downs. We were 5 for 15, but a lot of it's third and 9. 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. There's a lot of 3rd and long situations, and your percentages on 3rd downs are going to be way down when you're 3rd down. Distances in that long category. And I think the week before we were outstanding on 3rd downs on both sides of the ball, and this week we wasn't on offense, and it was due to the 3rd and long situations. We got to create 3rd medium, 3rd and short, which is manageable downs.
Coach Gross, it seems like every linebacker who comes in here talks about what kind of effect Quan has on them as a leader. Could you talk about what you see from him in that regard?
Well, it's been a good ride, this, and he's really just come in here. He grew up young, got the red shirt, and just part of this program, and just has been a mainstay, leadership-wise of what he brings to the table. He's the same guy every day. You get the same out of practice every day. He's been a guy that hadn't been on the injury report hardly any at all, during his career. So his consistency has been, really good. And like I said, he just prepares well, and just does a good job, man. He's kind of a hype guy. He'll get everybody's motor cranked up a little bit. So that's one of the things. He brings a lot of energy to the table, and that's something that you got to have on your team. And some guys are not kind of wired like that, but when a guy like Quan gets going, that kind of brings those guys up that are not wired like that to be like that. So he just does a good job.
Quan, what are some of the things that you do to help some of the younger linebackers that you see come into the program?
I just really want to, when they come in, I want to teach them that, to be like a good linebacker, you got to know that you got to be selfless, When you got to spill the ball to the safeties or to our teammates, do your job, That's the main thing. When you do your job, you got to do it with hard work, and just buy into the plan. You know what I'm saying? We all help each other. Like, everybody in the room help each other. I'm the oldest. I learned from Zach Woodard, and he's younger than me, and I'm older than him. He learned from me. We just all really care about each other, We all do different things different. Like, we all do good things differently, So I learned from him. He learned from me. Jay Choice, I learned from him. We all learn from each other, and that's what's going to make us good. So I try to teach them, like, it's competition, but at the end of the day, we got to be one in order to, get to the championship where we want to get to.
Both Jalen and Zach have said that you celebrate their successes as much as your own.
Yeah.
Is that something you try to do, or it just kind of the person you are?
It just comes. Like, I'm just happy, and then my brothers, when they make a play, I feel like we all make a play, you know what I'm saying? When I make a play, they come, like Zach was the first one congratulate me. So, when he make a play, I'm happy for them. I'm happy when Jay Choice make a play, we all grew up together, I've been with Jay Choice for a minute now, so I'm happy for them boys when they make plays.
That's good. He's a selfless guy. And that's kind of what we pride our team on. And you see Quan doing that all the time. And he can help his young guys because he's been where they are. I mean, it's really tough in college football to play linebacker. They're responsible for so many front calls and checks and, what gap to be in. Seems like it's really, really easy, but it's a very complex situation. And you get one guy out of a gap and you're just messed up. But he can play, both our inside linebacker positions, make all the calls. And, he can tell you it wasn't that way when he was young. He had to learn, So I think he's been through what some of the younger guys have been through, so he can kind of coach them along with that part of it. But it's a very complex game. It's just a tough position to play. But he's grown up in it, and he's done a really nice job with it.
Trae, does he talk to y'all on offense during practice?
He's always, he likes the trash talk, but I think it just makes us better, makes competition better. I like it.
With Landon coming in, how has that helped you? Has that pushed you to be a better player?
Yes, sir. Competition's always a great thing, and Landon, man, he's a fantastic person, just all around. Weight room, strong as an ox. Definitely glad to have him on my side. Just great competition on the field, off the field. Always bringing the energy. Can't be more thankful to have somebody like him.